a guy. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, who won global praise for her leadership style during Corona. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. She won universal condemnation for being a little authoritarian punk. Dude, what? Washington Post claims that New Zealand Prime Minister won global praise for her leadership style. She's a failed joke. No wonder she resigned. Why is she resigning anyway? Announced her resignation Thursday ahead of national elections later this year. Dude, this woman is an evil woman. This is an evil, evil woman. Do you guys know this lady? She's a human rights violator. I've given my absolute all to being prime minister, but it's also taken a lot out of me, Ardern 42 said in a statement. Dude, she looks about 20 years older than she really is, I guess. Holy smokes. I usually tell my own jokes, but I stole that one. Right. She was a dictator. Exactly, guess. She's a straight up dictator. She doesn't get any praise. She's a human rights violator. She's got Karen written all over her face. Oh, she's a big time Karen. My dad said a joke when I was at dinner with him. I'm not going to repeat it, but it was funny. Oh, you can't leave us hanging unless it's a TOS violation. Exactly, effing Joe. She ranks right up there with some of the absolute worst. You cannot and should not do the job unless you have a full tank plus a bit in reserve for those unplanned, unexpected challenges that inevitably her ruling center-left Labor admin will vote Sunday on a new leader who will lead the party. Wow, dude. Dude, she resigned. I guarantee you she resigned because she's going to get her butt kicked in the I really hope that she's resigning because she knew that she was going to get her butt tossed out onto the street. She didn't want to lose by big margins. She'll get out now and then say the loss was not me. Exactly, guess. Exactly. I mean, to me, that's just, it seems so obvious. Dems remove Wisconsin election official for voting comments. There'll be a reckoning for investors who don't adjust to a brand new investment playbook, says BlackRock. Student loan borrowers' monthly costs could rise dramatically this year if Biden's debt relief gets struck down. Oh, nice. U.S. Navy's newest submarine leaves Pentagon baffled on when it will be ready. Biden, the Second Amendment is useless because the government can crush you. Yeah, Biden saying that was so messed up. Dude saying, oh, you don't need an AR-15, you need an F-15. Oh, really, Biden? Oh, really? Do you know anything about the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia? Do you know anything about Phnom Penh? Do you know anything about Tuol Sleng Prison? Yeah, I don't want to go too hard on her smile, Gecko, because I feel bad for her. Have a heart. Have a heart. The school board queen, how a Florida mom is shaking up U.S. Ed. Peter Thiel says British affection for NHS is Stockholm Syndrome. Yep, it is. It is, dude. Have you guys been seeing the stories out of Britain about how big of a complete freaking disaster NHS is right now, dude, and how bad that healthcare is? Oh my gosh, it's bad. I have 2 AR-15s. Awesome, Gecko. That's freaking awesome. Bonuses will absolutely fall, says JP, head of investment banking. Inflation is battering lower-income households most as food, housing costs soar, Fed says. Housing costs are still going up? I thought housing costs started dropping. That'll be an interesting one to read. Simulations predict China would fail to take over Taiwan. Great news there. Great news. Netflix is hiring a flight attendant and offering a salary of anywhere between $60K and $385K. That's hilarious. Job market's 2.6 million missing people unnerves star Harvard economist. Microsoft is laying off 10,000 workers. Search warrant details item seized from Idaho. DOT pushes back after nonprofit alleges judge had no scheduled meeting. Explosive Biden bombshell uncovered in his Delaware garage. Gates introduces abolish the ATF Act after ruling against stabilizing braces. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Representative Matt Gaetz introduced a bill to eliminate the ATF. I fully support eliminating the ATF. Does that even send my tweet if I tab out like that? Oh, it does. I fully support eliminating the ATF. Federal government should... Yeah, it does. So I can send it. I don't have to actually click through it. Matt Gaetz introduced a bill to eliminate the ATF following a controversial ruling that tightens regulations on pistol stabilizing braces. Awesome, dude.
And Boebert, great to see. It's language used to describe, among others, my next two guests, both instrumental in gaining concessions from newly minted Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Joining us now, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. Great to see both of you. Congressman Gaetz, how confident are you that the concessions that you guys ended up winning are enforceable and you can hold on to them for these next 2 years?
Look at that Bastiat hair, dude. I always find it so funny that Matt Gaetz is Bastier's representative and they look identical. They both have this exact same, like, hair.
Just moments ago, we passed the rules for the 118th Congress, and those included the enforcement mechanism of the one-member motion to vacate. Now, I don't anticipate that we'll ever have to use that, but it gives us the opportunity to ensure that our goals regarding policy, procedure, and personnel are met. We're going to have votes on term limits, balanced budgets, internal enforcement of our immigration laws. None of those things would have happened if we had caved on Monday. But by getting these concessions and coming to a stronger place, the House is in a stronger position.
Now, here's how the Democrats are responding to the rules package just passed moments ago.
These rules are not a serious attempt at governing. They're essentially a ransom note to America from the extreme right. You're still empowering the extremists. Don't take my word for it. Let's go through their rules package. They're giving a single...
Right, guess. Does Bastier ever stream anymore? I haven't seen him streaming in so long. Does he still stream at all?
...member the ability to remove the speaker at any time, letting a small far-right faction hold their leadership hostage.
Congresswoman, it's all your fault.
Apparently, that's usually what the Democrats like to say. But this empowers every individual member of Congress, even the Democrats. That single member motion to vacate is for them as well. These single subject legislation pieces that we're going to see, this is something that we have in 47 state legislatures. To have it on a federal level is massive. So I'm proud that we took a few extra days to make sure that we get this right. It may look like chaos and dysfunction, but I'm a mom of 4 boys. That's a part of my everyday life. And really, last week was the most productive week I have experienced in Congress.
People really saw behind the curtain of what happens in Washington, stuff that, I've been railing against.
Who is the dad of Lauren Boebert's kids and where is he? I'm curious about that. What kind of dude is he, I wonder? He does in the morning, but I don't watch it. He is now a meme of a meme. Is he really? Does he really stream? Does he? Let me see. Twitch.tv/Bastier. They spent millions to defeat Boebert. Yep. Videos. No videos? Really? Does he really stream in the mornings? Doesn't he have to work? When was the last time he doesn't even have his... Huh. That's unfortunate that, Neolib, Everyday Bastier. I thought his thing was Everyday Warren. Wait, what is this? This isn't even his... A cringe man will always think he's based, but a based man is truthful to his cringe self. It's not even... Huh. I haven't seen him on at all, unfortunately.
Against for 20 plus years, 25 years. These omnibus spending bills, nobody knows what's in them.
Playing Risk with other neolibs? Nice.
It's just junk in the kitchen sink thrown in. Things that congressmen and senators don't want to be held accountable for. So you can't say, you voted against border enforcement. What they say, Congressman Gates, is, oh, no, I just voted to keep the government open. That's essentially what they do, correct?
Well, and the whole sum of this movement was to ensure that never again would we be forced to take a vote on something like this omnibus legislation. And I actually think this will make Kevin McCarthy stronger as a speaker, because in negotiating with the Senate, he'll be able to say, I'm sorry, the House rules don't allow us to consider things that aren't germane or that don't comport to a single subject.
Yeah, make it better. Now, the issue of defense spending, I brought this up several times last week. That's always treated as the sacred cow. Can never touch defense spending, no matter how woke the Pentagon is, no matter how much scrutiny the Pentagon needs for its failures. We all support our men and women in uniform. But the idea that 55% of our discretionary budget can't be touched, those numbers don't add up with the cuts.
Well, yeah, I guess. Tomorrow the debt limit is reached, guess, but they can still survive until like June with their extraordinary measures. You know, they can do extraordinary measures and still survive. So there really isn't the risk until like June.
That you all want, correct? Unless you guys...
But tomorrow's the big deal, because it's when they finally... that's when they have to start taking extraordinary measures, and they've written to Congress and told Congress, like, hey, we're going to have to start taking extraordinary measures and start running up a potential frickin' default here. Dinosaur, what's up, Dinosaur? Really low that they attack Biden more than Trump. Why not arrest Trump for him stealing top secret documents? Are you trolling right now? You're trolling. Quit trolling. What was the news to seniors? Your Social Security payments will be delayed due to the GOP. Of course, guess. Dude, that's what the Democrats always go straight for. Ever noticed how Democrats immediately want to take away Social Security payments? Ever notice how Democrats immediately want to take away Social Security payments at the first sign of a shutdown or debt ceiling issue, even though they don't have to? Dems are sick. Tweet. Unbelievable, man. I need to get fired up. I need to get some good clips tonight, folks. Hey, if you guys see something that I say, if you guys see a comment that I say that you like, if you guys would please clip it for me, I'll tweet it out. I'm trying to tweet out little clip videos, hopefully grow the lecture fan presence. Yo, Num is in the house. What up, Num? Good to see you. The FBI raided Trump. Suddenly they now attack Biden, who planted this. Yeah, no, Dinosaur. The difference is that they're treating Biden with kid gloves. Biden is interfering in the investigation into himself. The Biden DOJ told the FBI they don't have to go look at the documents with Biden. Biden and the government, the FBI, the DOJ, let Biden's personal attorneys who don't have security clearances review the documents and tell them whether there's any, there's mistreatment, there's unequal application of the law. What they've done to Trump compared to what they've done to Biden is an absolute travesty and one of the worst injustices we've ever seen. It's a violation of Donald Trump's civil rights, and anybody that supports it is anti-civil rights.
Ultimately start thinking about cutting parts of the military.
We're certainly going to have to look at a number of things to get this budget to balance.
What's the number of things? You can't get away with that on the show. What number of things?
Many things that we're going to look at, but defense is
That's the biggest
one of them.
number, isn't it?
It is. That is absolutely one of them. And
No, it's not. Defense is not the biggest number. What the hell is Laura Ingraham talking about? Why is she falling into this lie? No, it's not. Welfare is. It's like something like two-thirds. Two-thirds of federal government spending is like welfare, which includes Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security and everything, which is essentially welfare. Gosh, I don't like Laura Ingraham. Is she like not a real conservative anymore? It's like, dude, why are you obsessed with military spending when that's the job of the government? The main reason we have a federal government is for military. We don't have a federal government to do welfare payments and Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. Why don't we focus there? That's what's two-thirds of the problem is.
We have a lot of defense hawks in the House of Representatives that are probably going
Nice, Gecko.
to put up a fight for that. But we have to have a budget that actually balances, and that's what this
Congressman
rule
Gates
is
on that.
Forward.
That's the defense issue, the hawks in the Republican Party, and some of the
Why is Laura Ingraham obsessed with defense spending? Get off it, Laura Ingraham. We need a strong military. That's constitutional. It's a constitutional role of the government. Get off it. When the Biden stuff first broke, I made a joke about Trump having docs hidden everywhere. I should have known knobs like the View gals and others would blame Trump too, but be serious about it. Right. Oh, my word. Did they really? Did the View really say that Biden's document problem is Trump's fault? Holy cow.
The Democrat Party is saying, no, 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 no. You can't touch that. I heard the comments even tonight. You can't touch the defense. You're being irresponsible with national security. The Wall Street Journal had a very powerful piece today. National security is at risk with what you guys did.
I represent the district that has the highest concentration of active duty military in the country, and we can defend this country and project power more efficiently and more effectively than we do. President Trump was the first president to demand an audit of the Pentagon, and they couldn't pass it.
He didn't cut defense
Well, we
spending.
got an audit so we show where they fail to actually deliver on some of the authorities. And how about we start with Ukraine before we reduce what we do for our troops? I think it's a pretty easy case to make that some of this money that we send to Ukraine without requisite accountability should be the first place for reduction.
All right, we got to play this video.
No, that's actually not the easiest. That's not the easiest case to make. Evidenced by the fact that the vast majority of Americans support Ukraine and they're fighting against Russia, which is one of the most evil countries on earth.
It's the real dramatic video on Friday.
And is an enemy of America.
Friday nights.
Like, why is it so controversial that we support our allies in wars against our enemies? It's like we've got an ally fighting a war against one of our enemies. Why should we not support our ally?
So we were live 10 to 11, and all this stuff was happening an hour and minutes after we got off the air. This is one of the most talked about moments. McCarthy comes over toward you. You see it gets heated. Lauren, is that you right next to us? Yeah, there are you. Now, Fox News reported that you appeared to mouth the word committee during this exchange. I guess you had a lip reader. Congressman, the world wants to know what was said here. Come on, this is a pivotal moment. What was said?
Well, this was a matter of timing, and those of us who had withheld our support for Speaker McCarthy wanted to move as a group. We thought it could be a unifying moment. I'm glad that, to Speaker McCarthy's great credit, in the final moments, he made the requisite concessions to bring our team together and put us in a great position to do what we did tonight, vote to get rid of 87,000 IRS agents.
Exactly, Num, exactly. Why don't we let's cut funding for drag queen transgender shows in Ecuador. Because you know what? The U.S. federal government is spending money to put on drag queen shows in Ecuador. Is that what we want to spend our money? Why don't we cut? It's like, hey, Laura Ingraham, why don't you talk about cutting the funding for drag queen story hour in Ecuador instead of just trying to take money away from the military? How about that? Why don't you bring up that? Why don't we cut the money for drag queen story hour in Ecuador first, and then we can talk about other stuff. Gecko's got a link. Thank you, Gecko. Chinese donors funneled millions into university running Penn Biden Center during Biden presidency. Dude, unbelievable. The university took $14 million from unnamed contributors in China and Hong Kong since 2021. Dude, this is unbelievable. Unacceptable. Penn, which runs the Penn Biden Center in D.C., where classified docs were discovered from Biden's time as VP, has received millions from unnamed Chinese donors since Joe Biden became president. Unbelievable, man. Absolutely unbelievable. The university took $14 million from unnamed contributors in China and Hong Kong and $2.4 million from unnamed contributors in Saudi. Another $1 million was given to university by a donor in the Cayman Islands to fund the Penn Wharton China program. The money donated amid the Biden presidency adds to the $61 million Chinese donors have given the university between 17 and 20. Biden's lawyers turned over at least 10 classified docs located at Biden Penn Center from his VP to the National Archives in November, which was later revealed to public in January. Wow. Dude, this stinks to high heaven. This smells like vicious corruption. You know, like the thing is that I wouldn't normally go out and make an affirmative claim that like this is corruption, Biden's corrupt. But let's be reasonable. Let's be honest with ourselves. What Joe Biden, I mean, what's really gone on is absolutely, we know, like we have a pattern of behavior at this point. We now have a pattern of Joe Biden being corrupt, Joe Biden taking 10% cut, of Hunter Biden doing illegitimate business deals, Joe Biden selling his access to himself for top dollar to our enemies. All of this stuff is suggestive that, hey, none of this is just sort of, we don't give the benefit of the doubt to Joe Biden anymore.
So,
given what we know now about Joe Biden, we do not give him the benefit of the doubt. I read lips too. Boebert said, "I'm warning you, don't take another step closer." And you know I'm strapped with my 38s. I'm carrying a gun too. Nice.
Put us in a great position to do what we did tonight, vote to get rid of 87,000 IRS agents. So I think that, you know, the imperial speakership is over. Nancy Pelosi will be the last imperial speaker because now we're going to unlock the potential in all the members. And I'm glad that Speaker McCarthy saw it that way.
Now, I also saw that you both were talking to various Democrats during the process, and you especially were talking to Congresswoman Jayapal and others. Was there any thought of a deal with Democrats during this process, ever?
Absolutely
No.
not. I was actually.
You look pretty cozy talking to the Democrats. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, they're fun people, just like Republicans.
If you want to know what I was talking with Congresswoman Jayapal about, it was about the big tech legislation that I supported with her to break up these companies. And we were talking about, during Republican control, could we get those bills to the floor that Nancy Pelosi wouldn't bring to the floor while her husband was trading big
So she didn't actually say
tech stocks.
Could you work with some people on the left on some of these issues, Congresswoman Boebert? Because, you know, you guys are vilified.
Right.
You know, people were tough on you last week. I was kind of tough on you last week. But there are a lot of great things that were done because of what you guys did to hold out on this stuff. So could you guys work together?
I believe that the Congress is going to be much stronger than it was going into this, the Republican Party, and we will be able to work with some Democrats.
Good.
There were many Democrats who campaigned on conservative values, and I want to hold them to it. They were talking about securing a border and reducing inflation and energy independence even. And this was a battle in a lot of elections that we were seeing. So I want to hold them to those promises and bring them into the committees and have these discussions to actually move things forward.
That would be
and get
ironic.
America back on track.
Yeah, that would be ironic if it were more bipartisan as a result of all this.
Right.
We'll see. Congressman Gates, Congressman Boebert, thank you both for showing
Thank
up
you.
tonight.
The ATF issued a final rule Friday that'll treat guns with stabilizing accessories like short-barreled rifles, which require a federal license to own under the NFA. AG Garland said the ruling enhances public safety, but Gates said it unfairly punishes disabled gun owners and veterans who rely on stabilizing braces. Gates introduced H.R. 374, the Abolish the ATF Act, Tuesday morning, telling Fox News Digital is the final straw. I have a lot of disabled veterans in my district who enjoy pistol shooting and rely on stabilizing braces to be able to engage in the activity. Recent actions from ATF essentially allowed them to make case-by-case determinations on whether a pistol with stabilizing braces is legal or unlawful, sawed-off shotgun. Wow. The continued existence of the ATF is increasingly unwarranted based on the actions they're taking to convert otherwise law-abiding people into felons. Abolish the ATF. Abolish the ATF. I'm curious about this. Student loan borrowers' monthly costs could rise dramatically this year if Biden's debt relief gets struck down. Warren says she wants to know how that would impact you. I'm really curious about whether, like, I assume that the forgiveness aspect of Biden's thing is going to get struck down. Like, I assume the court's going to say, no, the president can't forgive just any student loans he wants. But I assume that he does have the power to change the repayment terms. TLS in the house. What's up, TLS? Good to see you. Elizabeth Warren sent letters to 20 advocacy groups regarding student debt relief. She wants to know how the lawsuits blocking the relief are affecting the group's members. Supreme Court will hear oral arguments on February 28th. Elizabeth Warren wants to know how conservative efforts to block student loan forgiveness are affecting you. In a series of letters Senator Warren sent out Wednesday, she asked 20 advocacy groups, including the NAACP Student Borrower Protection Center, the Debt Collective, how the efforts to block Biden's plans to cancel $20K in student debt for federal borrowers are impacting the group's members. After Biden announced the relief at the end of August, 2 conservative-backed lawsuits successfully paused the implementation of the policy. One of the lawsuits was filed by 6 Republican-led states who argued the relief would hurt their states' tax revenues. Wait, so the states said that forgiving student loan would hurt their states' tax revenues? Along with the student loan company Mohala, and the other lawsuit was filed by 2 student loan borrowers who did not qualify. Cases are now headed to the Supreme Court. Warren wrote in the letters, if not for the courts and Republican efforts, 16 million Americans could have been approved and seen $20,000 in student debt canceled. Without cancellation, millions of Americans' monthly costs could rise dramatically when student loan payments resume. Yeah, well, when you have to pay back your loans, yeah, your monthly expenses go up when you have to pay back money you borrowed. That's what happens when you borrow money and then you pay it back. Abolish the Department of Education. Dude, seriously, Numb. Our education standards have gone nothing but down. Our educational standards and results have gone nothing but down. I'm just going to say down. Our educational standards and results have gone down ever since Democrats got their way with education. Democrat education policies are a failure. Tweet. Send tweet. Warren is asking each of the groups to tell her by January 31st what student loan forgiveness would mean for their members. If the attempts to block student loan relief have affected members' abilities to financially plan, what impact blocking the relief would have on the members, how the government can protect and expand relief to those experiencing financial hardship due to student debt. Insiders previously spoken to a number of borrowers who have expressed confusion, uncertainty, and anger with the stalled debt relief. Guilherme Lopez, a first-generation borrower with $146,000 in student debt, said the legal challenges to the relief are not the American dream that we were promised. Coming over. Wait, what? So you're an immigrant, and now you're saying that because you're not getting $146,000 in student loans forgiven, that's not the American dream you were promised coming over? What the freak, dude? That's so bad. I don't care about student loan forgiveness. I wasn't going to pay it anyway. Yeah, are you one of these guys that was like on a student debt strike? Grumpy Jones, what up, Grumpy Jones? No Child Left Behind was the start of the war on merit and the tip of the spear to inject our schools with critical praxis. I know, Numb. And that came from George W. Bush, too. It's sad, dude. When you think back, Numb, and you go back through the last 100 years and you see how much bad different Republicans did. I mean, Ronald Reagan did amnesty for illegal aliens. Ronald Reagan did amnesty for illegal aliens. George W. Bush did No Child Left Behind. Like, man, these Republicans that we've had in the last 50 years, 100 years have been awful, a lot of them. Exactly, Noam. Our test scores have gone down. Ever since Democrats started pushing critical praxis in schools, our test results have gone down. Sinewy, what's up, Sinewy? A big reason the Dems get more support than expected in the midterm is from young university-age students. These people are expecting loan forgiveness. For sure, TLS, for sure. Yep. And it's like, look, America's founding fathers understood that once you get a critical mass of citizens who can just vote themselves more money for other people, the country's done. Because now every election it's just going to be people voting for the government to take their neighbor's money and give it to them. That's how scumbag Democrats are. They go out and they vote on the basis that, hey, I hope the government can take my neighbor's money and give me that money. That's what Democrats want. Democrats want the government to go to their neighbor's house, take their money, and give it to them. They're freaking greedy and nasty. Vote themselves more money for other people, the country's done. Because now every election it's just going to be people voting for the government to take their neighbor's money and give it to them. That's how scumbag Democrats are. They go out and they vote on the basis that, hey, I hope the government can take my neighbor's. All right, come on. Come on, Twitter. Give me. I didn't realize that you can clip it like that and it's like almost instant. I thought you had to like when you clip it, I thought you had to like choose like how much of it you wanted to. I thought when you clipped it was like you had to choose Of course, the frickin' thing doesn't work. God, that's annoying. Anyway, I'm going to try to learn how to clip it myself. Mike is in the house. By the way, what's up, Mike? Welcome. Been following Davos and started hearing about the concerns over the debt ceiling. What happens if we go over it? Bad things. Well, of course, anyway, of course. If we don't raise the debt ceiling and the government doesn't have any money and bills come due and it can't pay the government or it can't pay the bill, of course bad things happen. But what happens if we just continuously raise the debt ceiling and we never balance the budget? Also bad things happen. Higher ed is so bad, schools need to back loans themselves. Amen, Mike, amen. To the left, test scores are racist, forms of white. Yep. Test scores are going down, but at least whiteys know how racist you're just being white. San Fran, the local paper, ran the numbers. Every taxpayer in the city would have to pay $230K extra a year in tax to afford $5 billion rate. Wow. That is insane, man. That is insane. Go Heady's in the house. What's up, Go Heady? Good to see you, my man. As a commie, I want all his year's money and never work. That's exactly right, Go Heady. That's what we're dealing with here. All right, Gecko, you got another link for me. Thank you, Gecko. Appreciate the link. Ukraine war live updates. Helicopter crash kills top Ukrainian officials. Zelensky pleads for Western tanks. Wow, that's not good. The leadership of Ukraine's interior ministry died in a helicopter crash in a suburb of Kiev Wednesday. This morning on January 18th, a helicopter crashed. As a result, the leadership of the Ministry of Internal Affairs died. Dang, dude, that's too bad. Putin could be ready to announce another mobilization round as Russia looks to beef up its armed forces in Ukraine. What's really going on with the war? I haven't really heard much. Out of Ukraine here the last couple months. Is the war kind of slowing down here? I thought it was ramping up as the winter came in and the ground froze. Putin may announce a second mobilization wave to expand his army in the coming days, possibly as early as January 18th. Gosh, this is so annoying that I sometimes can't tweet out those clips. I definitely think it affects the mental health. It's more the unknown, the uncertainty. It just feels like a really sick game. Dude, you're now complaining about your mental health because you're not getting your loans forgiven? Why not? Like, that's not something you should really be able to complain about, dude. It's like, you took out the loans, now pay it back. Like, that shouldn't affect your mental health. In fact, your mental health will be a lot better if you actually paid the loans back. Democrats actually think it's better for their mental health to get their loans forgiven. What they don't know is that actually it's way better for your mental health to actually pay back the loans yourself. Why not? Like, that's not loans forgiven. Why not? Like, that's not something you should really be able to complain about, dude. It's like, you took out the loans, now pay it back. Like, that shouldn't affect your mental health. In fact, your mental health will be a lot better if you actually paid the loans back. Democrats actually think it's better for their mental health to get their loans forgiven. What they don't know is that actually it's way better for your mental loans forgiven. All right, let's see if this video will go out. Oh man, Matt Christensen, another Montana streamer right there. All right, let me check chat. Let me check chat. Sounds like Russia is trying to make gains. Yep. Russia is right for another revolution, but when that happens, will the replacement be worse than Putin or the USSR? That we don't know. True, guess. That's why it's always a dangerous game to do revolutions. In my humble opinion, the schools should pay the loans back since they provide an education that didn't lead the students into becoming self-sufficient. For sure, go aheady. For sure, man. Absolutely. Oh my word, dude. How freaking annoying is this? I can't upload any of these video clips so far. A company of our older Abrams tanks, which is 14, could win the ground war for Ukraine. Oh, for sure. Your mental health doesn't pay my bills. Get over it. Pay back the money you took. Exactly, Num. Exactly. The uncertainty is permeating as borrowers head into the new year. Not only is the Supreme Court's ultimate decision unknown, it's also unclear when student loan payments will resume. The Education Department announced an extension of the student loan payment pause 60 days after June 30th or 60 days after the lawsuits are resolved, whichever happens first. And it looks like even if Supreme Court strikes down relief, borrowers will still be thrown back into repayment this year. As these legal battles have progressed, Republican lawmakers have expressed support for the lawsuits, argued the debt relief is unfair, and using the HEROES Act of 2003, which gives the Secretary of Education the ability to waive or modify student loan balances in connection with the national emergency is an overreach of authority. Biden continues to express confidence in the plan's legality and that it will prevail in court. My admin is making the case to the Supreme Court, and I'm confident in the legal authority to carry out our plan. Peter Thiel says British affection for NHS is Stockholm Syndrome. Billionaire entrepreneur and investor Peter Thiel, whose data analytics company Palantir Technologies is vying for a $590 million NHS data contract. Palantir. I've heard some people that I've heard of a lot of people that have invested in Palantir. I wonder how Palantir stock has been doing. Palantir stock. Yikes. Off 2.5% today. Oh, wow. It's up over 1% over the week. Up 0.5% over the month. Oh, ouch. Minus 54% in the last year. Minus 25% in the last 5 years. Yikes, dude. Holy smokes. I didn't realize Palantir's done that bad. Has described British people's affection for the state-backed health service as Stockholm Syndrome. Venture capitalist Commons came during a Q&A after a speech at Oxford Union, a 200-year-old debating society on Monday. Oh, by the way, did you guys see that That other guy who recently went viral for his speech at the Oxford Union about wokeism, boy, was that good. Boy, was that good. He also said the crisis-stricken health service currently grappling with strikes and long wait times for emergency care was making people sick and needs market mechanisms to fix it. Such mechanisms include privatizing parts of it, avoiding rationing, loosening regulations. Peter Thiel was speaking as a private individual. His comments do not reflect the views of Palantir. Thiel is co-founder and chairman of Palantir, an American company. Provides software and consulting services to companies and government agencies to organize data. In theory, you just rip the whole thing from the ground and start over. That's what I've been saying, dude. I've been saying nonstop that even America's healthcare regulatory system needs to be completely scrapped and completely start over. Like, the NHS and the Canadian healthcare system are disasters, and they for sure need to be started over. But we ought to restart the American healthcare regulatory system too. Get rid of all regulations on healthcare at the federal level and let states get rid of all state regulations and let people start over with just some very, very basic health and safety rules. And you would have cheap, affordable, high-quality healthcare for everybody. That's the funny thing is actually if you go totally free market and get government out of healthcare, then actually more people actually are able to get high quality healthcare because they can afford it. Whereas with government, you end up with death panels and rationing and people waiting in line, and you can't even get as good a healthcare. You can't get healthcare. Saint Greta's arrest was state. Oh, I heard about that. Guess what in the world is wrong with her? This is insane. Here's Greta Thunberg and handlers get caught making a staged video of her getting arrested during a coal mine protest. Videos and pictures from this completely fake event have gone viral. Wow. Wow. What a little fraudster. Oh, it's outrageous, old gamer Mike. Healthcare is so insanely expensive. That's why it needs to be restarted. You kind of got to feel bad for Greta Thunberg because her parents are abusing her and brainwashed her into doing this. And now she's used as a prop. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely insane. In practice, you have to somehow make it all backwards compatible in all those ridiculous British ways. The first step to fixing the NHS was to break away from the view that it's the most wonderful thing in the world and understand it as an iatrogenic institution, which means it makes people sick. Highways create traffic jams. Welfare creates poverty. Schools make people dumb. NHS makes people sick. Wow. That's so interesting. What a statement. Highways create traffic jams. Welfare creates poverty. Schools make people dumb. NHS makes people sick. Now that's a contrarian viewpoint. Holy cow. Guy Wilson in the house. What's up, Guy? Hopefully one of the coppers handed her a red pill. We need to go back to 1800s law, in my opinion. In a lot of ways, for sure, Mike. In a lot of ways, no, but in a lot of ways, yes, for sure. Dude, good for Peter Thiel. He's right about the NHS. Inflation is battering lower-income households most as food, housing costs soar. I'm kind of surprised to see this about housing costs today because I thought housing costs had started to come down. Low-income households are being hit hardest by inflation because surging food and housing costs make up more of their spending. The finding marks a reversal of the pattern that prevailed when consumer prices initially spiked in 21 and 22, which showed the most severe impact on middle-income Americans. From early 21 to June 22, Black, Hispanic, and middle-income households were hurt most. Why are they mixing race and socioeconomic? Black, Hispanic, and middle-income households were hurt most. Okay. Most by soaring prices because more of their spending is devoted to transportation, which leaped as the price of used cars and gasoline skyrocketed. Young and less educated people felt a similar impact because they too spend more on used cars and gas. But in the past 5 months, prices of used cars and gas have declined. Meanwhile, in December, food costs jumped 10% annually, while rent increased 8%. Wow, dude, is rent really rising over 8% a year? Dude, you know what I find what I find super interesting to think about is how buying a house and getting a mortgage, one of the great benefits of that is basically you have locked in housing costs, right? For 30 years. So you buy a house on a 30-year mortgage, then that means that your monthly rent, quote unquote, or rather monthly housing costs are going to be the same for 30 years. So let's say you go out, you buy a house right now, you get a mortgage for $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month, okay? Well, maybe that's more than your rent, or maybe it's right around the rent or whatever. But think about in 25 years or 30 years, do you think rent is going to be more than that or more than what your mortgage is? So that's why it's interesting to think of buying a house and getting a mortgage as not so much as an investment or even a use asset or anything else, but more of just a guaranteed, steady, locked in housing cost for the rest of the next 30 years. You only have to pay the same amount. Like in 30 years, dude, I assume like in 30 years, $2,000 a month won't get you anything for rentals. The amount of crime will go down. A lot of people stealing get shot. They would, Mike. I don't necessarily think that people should be getting shot for stealing stuff. I think you should only get shot for if you're like threatening the life of somebody else or like trying to take the life of somebody else. 31 trillion in debt with interest payments of 400 billion. Oh yeah, I guess that. And the amount that we're paying as interest, the amount that the federal government is paying in interest is high and going higher, to where I saw that if the Fed, I saw something like if the Federal Reserve maintained interest rates at like 5.5% for 2 years or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but something like that. It was like because so much of our federal government debt is short-term debt that rolls over and has to be purchased or re-loaned or whatever, reissued, I guess would be the right way to say it. That just keeping interest rates at like 5.5% for 2 years would make it so our federal debt interest payments are like 50% of all federal tax revenues, to where it's like half of all of our money is going to be going to paying interest. It's just insane. Smart Trump fans in the house. What up, CTV? What's up? Are you the real CTV? I know that you got a new username at one point and stopped in. I can't remember if it was that one. What's funny is the reason why this logic is sound is because central bank exists. Stands up. Oh, nice, CTV. How you doing, man? You gonna start streaming again? I am the real CTV. Awesome, man. Thanks for stopping in. How you been? It's because the central bank exists. Think about how it would be without a central bank, right? Over 200 trillion in debt with incurred interest. No one wants to touch the dollar much, right? Guy Wilson. Yep. Worried about debt, yet dump blow 300 million on golf GTFO. Not making any sense, bro. Not making any sense. Boom! Little Bits gifting a tier 1 sub. Thank you, Little Bits. Appreciate that so much, man. Thank you, Little Bits, gifting that tier 1 sub to the real CTV, up to 28 gift subs total. Thank you, Little Bits. Really means a lot, man. Really appreciate it. LM Dronebot. What's up, LM Dronebot? Welcome to the Lecture Fan stream. Let's go. Okay, so from early 21 to June 22, middle-income households were hurt most. Young and less educated people felt a similar impact because they too spend more on used cars and gas. But in the past 5 months, prices of used cars and gas have declined. Meanwhile, food costs jumped 10% annually while rent increased 8%. As a result, black, young, middle-income Americans are now experiencing a smaller inflation. Holy smokes! Altair with the 100 bits. Boom! Thank you, Altair. Appreciate that. About to get a hype train started. Can we get a hype train? Can we get a 26-viewer hype train in the house? Thank you, Altair. Really appreciate that. Do you ever care about Trump $350 million on golf? Facts are... Holy cow, there it is! Boom! Fatormophitis with 300 bits. Starting the hype train. Thank you, Fatormophitis. Appreciate that so much, you guys. Holy cow. No smart Trump fan. I'm not familiar with $350 million on golf, but $350 million is a drop in the bucket when you're dealing with trillions. Think about it. If there's no central bank, then that $2,000 monthly payment would get more and more expensive. But because we are being robbed, the currency retains less and less value. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're basically saying like there would be deflation without a central bank. Thank you so much, Fatormophitis, Altair, Little Bits, getting us up to 56% to a level 1 hype train. 4 minutes to go, folks. 56%. Can we make it? To be fair, Trump spent his life fighting the good fight. Some golf will do him good. Where's your MAGA hat? Right here. Holy cow! Boom! Old Gamer Mike dropping 4 tier 1 subs. Thank you, Mike. Holy cow. What a wonderful freaking hype train, you guys. Thank you so much. This is maybe like the second hype train of the month only. Thank you guys so much. Mike, appreciate the 4 subs, man. That's huge. Old Gamer Mike up to 560 subs. Thank you, Mike. That is massive, man. Trump was right. Looks like a big push leaning towards gold-backed currency on the international level as USA sits on Joe's thumb. Trump is good. Altair with another 200 bits. Boom. Thank you, Altair. Boom. Gets us up to 83% to a level 2. Almost to level 2, folks. 4 minutes left. Well, not deflation, but the currency would gain value and require smaller denominations. Wouldn't that be I don't understand what's the difference between that and deflation. Deflation is just prices going down, and if you're talking about smaller denominations and smaller numbers and the currency gaining value, I don't see that as any... That sounds to me like the same as deflation. I live in a house that's 1,500 square feet. My housemate pays half. I pay the other half. It works out pretty well. Nice, Gecko. That's great, man. 1,500 square feet's plenty for 2 people. Fanboy loser, you'll blow Don the Con. Why is it always lefties and Democrats that are freaking just so toxic and perverted? Got the oil locked up tighter than a drum. Now they want her NG boo. Holy cow, there it is! Fatormophitis getting us to a level 2. Thank you so much, Fatormophitis. Boom! Hype train level 2 complete. Pushing to level 3. Let's go. Tylenol Jenkins in the house. What's up, Tylenol Jenkins? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Keep it up smart and you'll get permaban for dumb shit. Yeah, Tylenol, except I don't permaban people for dumb stuff because being dumb is not a violation of Twitch TOS. If it was, we'd have to ban basically all the Democrats. You're the problem with American. No, I'm the solution to America's problems. Leftist Democrats are the problem. TDS is why they hate it more than sin itself. For sure, Drone Bot. Dude, the TDS is so strong. These people are obsessed with Trump. Think about it. Joe Biden has been president for over 2 years now, and all Democrats can talk about is Trump, Trump, Trump. Yeah, you Trump guy. Oh, you're a Trump defender. What about Trump spent $300 million on golf? You care about that? Just Trump, Trump, Trump. Oh, you love Trump. Oh, you suck Trump's dick. Oh, yeah. All this perverted, just toxic stuff. Like, these people are not healthy, man. Their mental health isn't there. You know, you kind of got to feel bad for people like this smart guy. Like, you kind of got to feel bad for him because he's going through a mental health issue right now, you know. I don't want to be too mean to him when he's suffering from mental health problems. Yo, you getting a bunch of subs. You know it, baby. 10% of the way to a level 3, 3.5 minutes left. Think we can make it to level 3? Think we can make it to level 3? Let's go. I saw that, Num. Good. She should resign because hopefully she was going to get absolutely smashed in this next election. It would be inflation from the point that we are now. However, if the money supply matched productivity, naturally smaller denominations would be required. Because it'd be a much slower rate, there wouldn't be inflation. It would just overall gains in wealth as a nation. Holy cow! Wow! Num dropping 5 tier 1 subs. Holy smokes, Num! Totally out of the blue. Num dropping 5 tier 1 subs, up to now a total of 8 gifted subs. Holy smokes! What a surprise. Num, thank you so much, Num. That's massive, dude. I was not expecting that. It's been... Wow, really appreciate that, Num. Really means a lot. Thank you guys so much. Really means a lot, guys. Especially when I'm... Especially when my sub numbers are so low, down below 100 points, wondering if you guys still support me. And then you come through. Holy smokes, Guess dropping 300 bits. Boom. Thank you, Guess. Wow. You guys are amazing. Did you see who I gifted the sub to and you read Rob Reiner's tweets talk about TDS? Oh, you gifted it to the Young Turks. I just now noticed that. That's awesome, Fatormophitis. I think I've seen some of Rob Reiner stuff. There's a lot of people with TDS. We know that. Thank you guys so much. Wow. That got us all the way to level 3 hype train complete. Now we're pushing to level 4. Holy smokes, you guys. Thank you, man. Guess. Num. You guys, it means so much to me. Really means a lot. You guys keep me going. You guys are an inspiration for me to continue streaming on Twitch. Continuing this community is so amazing. You guys, you guys have changed my life. You've changed my family's life. It really means a lot. So, thank you. Whoa! An anonymous gifter gave Amaranth the tier 1 sub. Amaranth with the sub. Welcome, Amaranth. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm trying to read chat here, guys. Oh, Guitar's in the house. Guitar player, what's up? Dusk is in the house. What up, Dusk? The only reason inflation came down is because of energy. When energy stops falling, inflation will go back up. Yeah, inflation. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, inflation's a huge part of it. And really, inflation really hasn't come down that much. It's like barely stopped growing as fast. Really wouldn't even say it's gone down. So you think about Crowder's video? Oh, Mike. Yeah, I watched the whole thing, Mike. I watched the entire video. It's a half hour. Steven Crowder talking about it. I kind of see. Holy cow! Pokimane with the anonymous sub. Thank you, whoever's out there. Wow, you guys, 83% to a level 4. I honestly was not expecting this. Can we get to level 4? 2 minutes left, 83%. Pokimane and Amaranth in the house. Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you, everybody. You guys are doing a wonderful thing for me, and it means so much. Thank you. What was I just about to talk about? Who was I just I was just responding to. The Steven Crowder video. I think it's unfortunate. Obviously, I don't support that kind of contract. I don't support conservatives, punishing. I don't support conservative media companies punishing conservatives for big tech censorship, and I don't support that kind of a thing where, holy cow, boom, level 4 hype train complete. We got an anonymous gifter giving Bernie Sanders a tier 1 sub. Fatormophitis gifting a tier 1 sub to Hassan. Wow, you guys. So we've had Amaranth, the Young Turks, Pokimane, Bernie Sanders, Hassan, all getting subs. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys. Thank you. No, Mike, I was just going to say, I don't like that, and I don't think it's cool, but if I was going to defend it, Mike, I would basically just say, look, we don't support big tech censorship, but at the same time, we are a business and we are trying to make money. And if you get banned on YouTube and we're a freaking media company, then we're not going to make as much money, so you're not going to make as much money. As a business, we can't continue to pay you tons and tons of money if you get banned on social media and are not producing any revenue for us. And it's a business thing. And second of all, this doesn't mean that we're like the enforcers for big tech. We're just, but we believe in we want to fight big tech by working within it, by complying with the rules. Like we don't want to go out there and get banned on big tech and then, use that should be our strategy to try to fight against censorship. No, instead, what we believe is basically censoring ourselves and trying to stay on the platforms and using these platforms themselves as a platform to fight against the censorship. So I kind of see both sides of it, but I like Steven Crowder. I'm more on. I think I trust Crowder more than I do like Ben Shapiro. So I'm kind of on his side overall. Trump put out a video saying if you're reelected, he'll impose a ban on China acquiring U.S. infrastructure. Good, guitar player. On Truth Social, or where is it, guitar player? Because I'd like to watch that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Holy smokes, are you serious? Fatormophitis dropping another sub to TLS. Thank you, Fatormophitis. Wow. Dude, can we actually make it to level 5? 37% of the way there, 2.5 minutes left, trying to make it to level 5. I would have never expected a level 5 hype train, folks. 2.5 minutes, 37% of the way. It's more of you lose all rights to what you make. Oh, that part of it, Mike? That's also... Holy cow, Guess gifting a tier 1 sub to guitar player. Yes, Guess, thank you. Boom! Altair with the 100 bits. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you so much. Fatormophitis, Guess, Altair, teaming up, trying to get us to level 5, 57%, 2 minutes to go. Thank you, Altair, Guess, Fator, you guys are amazing. 57%. No, but Mike, yeah, it sucks that you, like, if you're gonna, here's the deal though, Mike, it's like, okay, if I was gonna go sign a contract with Daily Wire, for example, because that's who I think it is, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to give up my rights to my content. I don't want to give up my rights to all my social media platforms. I don't want to basically sell myself and sell my soul to them. But at the same time, like if they were gonna pay me $10 million, then it's like that. Then that's a benefit to me because then I can spend more time focusing on content creation. I could spend my time, writing a book, which I really want to write a book. I could do all of these things. And so if they're going to pay me $10 million, then, and that's the other thing about Steven Crowder complaining that the contract said that if you miss one show a day, if you miss a daily show, that you get cut like $100,000. So it's like you're sick one day or you can't do your show one day, you lose $100,000. And it's like, okay, Crowder, yeah, that seems bad, but how much are they paying you? Like $100,000 might be nothing if, by the way, 45 seconds left, guys. 45 seconds to go. 57%. Can we make it to level 5? That would be crazy to get this close to level 5 without making it, guys. 57% of the way there. 30 seconds to go. Trying to get to level 5. I think the Crowder bit. Fatormophitis with 300 bits gets us up to 67%. 25 seconds to go. Thank you, Fatormophitis. So close. 67%. Can we make it? I think the Crowder bit is going to encourage more people to complain against conservative content creators. Now they know it's making a difference. What do you mean, TLS? Oh, I see what you're saying, TLS. Like, whoa! Whoa! Fatormophitis, are you serious? Oh my gosh, Guess gifted a sub to Pisco. Boom. Thank you, Guess. Fatormophitis, you guys are amazing. What a surprise. Level 5 hype train complete. I haven't had a level 5 hype train in months. I haven't had a level 5 hype train in months. Numb, it says you're not subbed. Numb, you're not subbed right now. I don't know why. I don't know why, Numb, but you're not showing up as a sub. There it is! Numb with the tier 1 sub. Wow, you guys are so amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe Hassan saw the light. Exactly, Tylenol, exactly. Wow, you guys are amazing. Me and my housemate have 3 cats. She just put all of them in my room. Ew, 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 ew. Wow, you guys are amazing. He needs to know who the best lawyer on Twitch Amen, brother. Amen. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Top quality lawyer on Twitch. #1 lawyer on Twitch. Wow, you guys are amazing. Appreciate all that. Deltry's in the house. What up, Deltry? Yeah, I see the point though about like, okay, Crowder disclosed these, conservative content creator contracts that show that if a conservative content creator gets boycotted or ad boycotted or banned on a platform or something, that then it hurts them and they lose money. But I don't know if that's really news. I think most people, like, you inherently know that, yeah, if you're a media guy and you lose your advertisers or you lose your social media platforms, like, of course they're going to make less money. I don't think that's necessarily news, would be my response to that. Is Destiny banned from Twitch? Yes. Destiny is banned from Twitch. He's also banned from Twitter. And here I am, never even once banned from Twitch or Twitter. Man, level 5 hype train complete. 2.5 minutes to push to level 6. 27%. Yes, he is guitar. He lurks using all his alt accounts and other people chat. He stalks BX Bullet streams all the time. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Poor Pisco interacted with Rakeda and a couple other LawTube guys, and each time they pretty much laughed. Are you serious? Are you serious? Laughed off him and his shtick. Okay, I've got to see that. Pisco Rekieta. So stupid. Rekieta Law debates liberal lawyers on Roe v. Wade. Is this it? Destiny debates a lawyer on Roe v. Wade. Big Brain panel. Oh my gosh, dude. Remember the Big Brain podcast? Oh my gosh. Is Destiny still putting out freaking YouTube videos all the time? Red Pillar attacks Destiny on Fresh and Fit. My friends did terrible things. Ethan Klein gets emotional. Destiny debates just pearly things on Andrew Tate. Destiny debates just pearly things on feminism and trans issues. Destiny has blue hair now, dude. What is up with Destiny's blue hair? Andrew Tate self-snitches in chat logs. XQC addresses marriage rumors, demands apology. Dude, all of this. Dude, this is all like just clickbaity crap on Destiny's channel. None of this is like... I love how Destiny wishes he was a lawyer so bad. Have you guys noticed how Destiny just wishes he was a lawyer so bad? 30 seconds left, guys. 30 seconds left to try to get to level 6. We'll get it. We'll finish at level 5 here, folks. What a blowout freaking hype train, guys. Level 5. Destiny gets 5K views on YouTube. Yeah, that's amazing. That's really good. Destiny was reinstated on Twitter last week. No way, Fatormophitis. Was he really? Destiny got unbanned on Twitter? Yeah, Fetor is right. Destiny is back on Twitter. Oh, shit, I didn't know that. Okay. I guess because of Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk believes in free speech. I heard that as well, guitar player. Trump is going to make a comeback to his hair is super cringe. Holy cow, guys. 19 subs and 2,300 bits. Wow. 19 subs, 2,300 bits, man. That's the biggest hype train I have had like in months. You guys, thank you so much. You guys are an inspiration. Random Gaming 2099, welcome to the stream. Thank you guys so much. I can't tell you guys how much that means to me. You guys are an inspiration. You guys keep me coming back to stream. You guys support the channel. You guys support the daily and relentless pursuit of the truth and righteousness that we're trying to do here on the Lecture Fan channel. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. Every single one of you. Whether you did 100 bits or whether you dropped a 5-pack of subs. Thank you so much. Steve will never be allowed on Twitch. Same with Tria Logic. Yeah, Twitch is weird at like about their bans, guess. I disagree with the way Twitch bans people and never lets them back. I don't think it's right. Even though I'm not a big fan, I don't know why, but Tree of Logic like used to love me, and she used to be so nice to me, and she used to say such nice things, and she told me she'd help me, and she'd tell me she'd support her. But then like, I don't know, like I heard that she was going after me, and I kind of remember actually seeing video proof of it. So I don't know what her deal is really, but she's not really my kind of content creator. Not the type of person I like to listen to, but yeah. Okay, so here's Omni-liberal, 500 followers. How does he only have? I thought this account had a lot of followers. Are you sure this is joined September 2022? This isn't his original count. Huh. Okay, well, cool. Good for him. Good for him. Good for him. The bottom 40% of households by income, as well as Asian Americans, are being hit with the highest yearly inflation by nearly 0.4 of a percentage point because food and housing make up more of their expenditures. That reverses the advantage they held earlier in the current inflation episode. Older college-educated consumers are feeling a greater inflation impact since they spend more on food and housing costs. Lower income groups are hampered the most because they're less able to substitute less expensive goods for pricey items and have fewer cash reserves. Top 20% of households are in the middle of three income groups. They were more affected by rising transportation costs than lower income people, but not as much as middle income. They spend slightly less than the other two groups on food and less than lower income groups, about the same as middle income groups on housing. That's so weird. So the top 20% of households like are spending less on some things than middle income people? That's bizarre. Tree got exposed for being a grifter. Did she really? How? How's that? Steve Turley said Biden would never become president after the 2020 election. Oh my gosh. Oh, Deltree, it's the Omni-liberal, 100K followers. Oh, okay. Tree hates people that don't think like her. She banned me for not liking COVID cops. Are you serious, Mike? That's ridiculous. How could she defend what the cops did during COVID? The cops did themselves a lot of disservices during COVID. Big time. Have you heard of Dr. Steve Turley on YouTube? Populist, nationalist, conservative? Not really. I guess the name kind of rings a bell, but I don't know him. Yo, Longetti. Longetti's in the house. What's up, Longetti? May I ask, as a Christian, why would you support capitalism? Because I think capitalism is the best way to help the poor, and I believe as a Christian in helping the poor. Capitalism has done more for the poor than any other economic system ever. Yeah, and the alternative is also evil. Job markets, 2.6 million missing people unnerved, star Harvard economist. Dude, this labor market has been so weird too. The last 5-decade low U.S. unemployment rate of 3.5% lies a 2.6 million person mystery. There's 2.6 million people that are missing. That's how many more Americans should be working or looking for jobs if the economy's labor force participation rate was the same as before COVID-19. But something's still off, leaving everyone from mom and pop businesses to the Federal Reserve economists scrambling to answer a crucial question. Where are these workers? Economist Raj Chetty and his big data experts at Harvard went looking for these missing people. Their research relies on an innovative method of tracking the economy built in the early months of the pandemic that blends anonymized transaction data from private companies. Oh, that's weird. How did Tree get exposed, Guess? I'm really curious about that. By the way, did not want to come off as aggressive. Oh, you're good, Longetti. You're good, Longetti. Don't forget to hit that follow if you're interested in supporting the channel. When she got... Oh, there you go. Thank you, Guess. When she got caught trying to dox Burns after she got rejected from the old hippy dippy and her lies about BX, which she triples down on. There it is. Thank you, Longetti. Oh, I remember the BX stuff, Guess. Yeah, for some reason, Tree was just going viciously against BX Bull. I was like, well, what is your deal? She streams with the alt-right Cozy TV bunch. She is a very big racist, calling anyone who disagrees with her slurs or supporters of Zionism. She really needs to find faith. Amen, Guess. Amen, brother. You said it right, Guess. That you said exactly all the reasons why I don't necessarily, not really a fan of hers. Yeah, you nailed it, Guess. You nailed it. You 100% nailed it. Well said, Guess. Well said. Smart Trump fan. I'm here just to see lack of education. Really? Smart Trump fan? You think you've got more education than me? One of my favorite things about being highly educated is I can say how stupid education is with some gravitas. The data highlight to Chetty and his team just how much those awful months in 2020 still haunt the economy, even as their tracker shows metrics like job listing, consumer spending, small business revenue surging back above January 2020 levels. The U.S. is missing a fifth of pre-pandemic low-income workforce. At least some of the workers moved to higher-paying jobs. Researchers found employment for the poorest quarter of the workforce was still 13% below pre-pandemic levels at the end of 2021. The shrinking low-wage workforce. Crazy, man. So this blue line is the low-wage employment. Analyzing local trends, researchers found an important clue. Low-wage workers are scarcest where 2020's devastation was worse. As it turns out, the hardest-hit businesses were in the richest neighborhoods. In areas like Boston's Back Bay, New York's Upper West Side, Brentwood, and LA, the pandemic and its aftermath have thrown into chaos the lives of millions of employees who once waited on the wealthy in restaurants, bars, gyms, and hair salons. It's clear there are large swaths of the population who are not employed. These are low-wage workers who lost their jobs, precisely the places where high-income people cut back on spending so sharply a couple of years ago. Exactly, Guess. Exactly. Anti-Zionism is a form of anti-Semitism. Exactly, guitar player. Exactly. Or at least 90% of the time it is. The Bible warned about people like Smart professing themselves wise, they become fools. Totally, Tylenol. 100%. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. You know what we should do is watch a little GOP War Room. You guys want some GOP War Room action? In the meantime, I got to take a quick bathroom break. We'll come right back, 20 seconds, and then it's the second half of the Lecture Fan Stream. Let's go.
Happy Wednesday. Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. So if you've been paying attention for the past 5 or 6 years, and we know you have been, you've probably noticed the inverted nature of modern language. Pretty much everything is precisely the opposite of what they claim it is. So the people who tell you they're defending democracy are promoting authoritarianism, which is not democracy. Then the Black Lives Matter movement winds up killing black people. Who would have seen that coming? Then our public health authorities make the population sicker. And this is our new favorite, the so-called World Economic Forum seems to exist to destroy national economies. Not an overstatement. It was the WEF, keep in mind, that told the government of Sri Lanka to give up modern fertilizer. Oh, good plan, guys. Go ahead and try it. Result? The country collapsed and people starved. Then it was the WEF that promoted Sam Bankman-Fried's historic Ponzi, the biggest financial fraud in history. Apparently the savants at the World Economic Forum just couldn't tell that this twitchy, pill-popping kid in cargo shorts, who literally played video games during interviews, was an utterly transparent scammer. They had no idea. They thought he was a genius, just like them. And of course, it was the WEF that predicted the COVID lockdowns would, quote, quietly improve cities, not turn them into ominous hellscapes of unemployment, drug addiction, and crime. It seemed like a good plan at the time. Hey, I've got an idea. Let's prevent people from working. That'll make them rich. It'll quietly improve life for everyone. That's the World Economic Forum for you. The WEF is often described as a group of supervillains, but they're also hilariously idiotic. Not just evil, buffoonish. And by the way, they know it. They're smart enough to be embarrassed anyway. The WEF has since deleted its tweet about COVID lockdowns. It has memory holed its promotion of scammer Sam Bankman-Fried. It has conveniently forgotten all about its guidance on Sri Lankan fertilizer, on which it turns out the WEF is not an expert. None of that ever happened. The slate is clean. So we're ready for yet another World Economic Forum annual meeting in Davos, Switzerland, which is underway right now. The event kicked off this week with 84-year-old Klaus Schwab, he's the founder of the WEF, promising to, quote, master the future.
We couldn't meet at a more challenging time. We are confronted with so many crises simultaneously. What does it need to master the future? I think to have a platform where all stakeholders of global society are engaged.
We must master the future. Master the future. So mastering the future is now the top item on the to-do list at the World Economic Forum this year. That's the first clue these people are not living the same life you are. By the end of this week, you hope to find some time to get an oil change or maybe pick up some dandruff shampoo at Rite Aid. At the World Economic Forum, they plan to master the future. That's the kind of people they are. How are they going to do it?
What up, what up,
Well,
what
they're going to
up?
do it with John Kerry, who despite...
No, I didn't, guitar player. Maybe I saw a headline about it, but no, I haven't. I didn't get into it. I like Tucker, but I want to see GOP War Room clips. Oh my gosh, Karine Jean-Pierre was out at the podium today. You guys ready for the cringe? You guys ready for the absolute cringe? The cringiest, the cringe. Karine Jean-Pierre is so bad at her job. Karine Jean-Pierre claims Biden takes border security very seriously.
So he's taking the steps. He's going to continue to take this very seriously when we think about the border security.
Dude, Democrats are liars. They're only claiming they only claim to care about border security because we're coming up on election. Dude, look at this. DeSantis hints at ending taxes on gas stoves. Boom! Yes, Ron DeSantis ending gases on Did you guys hear about Wyoming trying to potentially banning electric vehicles? I fully support ending all taxes on gas stoves, offering subsidies for gas stoves, etc. I think it is pretty reasonable to suggest that maybe we shouldn't have tons of electric vehicles until we have a powerful and reliable electric grid. Wyoming was literally looking at potentially banning electric vehicles, which I was like, kind of makes sense because we don't want the electric grid collapsing.
And it makes a difference. You know, when you have inflation the way it is, there's certain things that you may decide, okay, you know, this is going, I mean, some of the grocery is unbelievable how much some of this stuff's going.
Okay, hold on, let me see. Longetti says, brother, you talk about blind leading the blind, but who are you? This man is no shepherd, neither has he claimed to be. Brother, why look at the speck in your eyes? Oh, you're talking to that guy. Oh, thank you, Longetti. Dust G12222. According to her, he also takes unclassified docs seriously. Exactly. Bleezer's in the house. What up, Bleezers? Anything anyone says about Tucker can be said about any talking head. Rachel Maddow Layers told the judge her show she's just a character as well. Yeah, Blazers. Except for me. I'm not a character. My Twitch stream is not just a character. Trihex was so butthurt about this. Was he? Dude, you know what's funny is like when I've debated people like Trihex and Destiny and some of these other people, they always say that I'm a character that I don't. And it's like, no, actually, I don't think Twitch streamers can really be characters, or if they are, you can tell. Because doing an actual live stream is very different from doing a TV show, or way different than doing a radio show. And I don't know how you could maintain, if you weren't being genuine as a streamer, like, I don't know how you could maintain that for a period of time, if you know what I mean. First time she's memeing the truth. All I can tell you, Peter, is that those classified documents were as secure as the border. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Exactly, Dusk. Our electric grid is awful. We must fix our electric grid before we put electric vehicles on there. Dude, are you joking me, TLS? Of course they'll ban gas stoves, TLS. They banned light bulbs. TLS. They banned light bulbs. What makes you think they wouldn't ban gas stoves? Do you realize they banned light bulbs, right? Incandescent light bulbs are banned now. You realize that, right? It is a typical defense used in court for media people, totally. Which is why I don't necessarily think it's that big of an idea. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it is disappointing if you're watching somebody in the media and you think they really believe what they're saying, and then they get sued, and then they're out there saying, "Oh, this is all just a joke. This is a show." I think that's pretty disappointing. Like, I don't like that, and partially because I do a radio show and do a Twitch stream, and I would not be able to honestly say that I'm just putting on a show, or I'm a character, or I don't believe what I say, or I'm not making statements of fact, and all of these things. I couldn't say it. So I don't know. I mean, so maybe it's different when you get to be a national. Maybe it's different when you get to be national level. I don't know, but I still find that pretty disappointing. Oh, yeah, Fatarmavitis. Rachel Maddow is still the leader of the left-wing intellectual movement. Hannity talked about that bill yesterday, and a Demi head-on defended it, even though it's unconstitutional. Ridiculous. Yeah, but because white supremacy speech, that's violence, and so it's okay to ban it because it's actually violence. It's not speech, it's violence. I think I've been gifted as I can see right through people, like right into their souls, and you can just see the evil in some people, especially some politicians. Okay, Longetti. How do you judge me, Longetti? Based on what you know about me, Longetti, which is watching the last 20 minutes of the stream or something, how do you judge me? Do you think I'm a good person? Do you think I'm genuine, or do you think I'm potentially a crook? Exactly, TLS. I do have a point. Exactly, Bleezers. And they'll ban gas stoves in a second. I don't put it past these Democrats to ban gas stoves for a second.
You will not.
Oh yes, this is so good, Dusk. I don't want to spend 9 minutes watching this. I would assume most people have seen this already, because this went hardcore viral, Dusk. But a great speech. Thank you, Dusk. If I hadn't seen this yet, I would be thanking you even more so for sharing that. But yeah, that's a great speech, Dusk. I highly recommend everybody to check that out if you guys haven't seen that yet. California's already banned gas stoves. Right, guitar player, right. It's like, this is something that Democrats have already done. There's no question they'd do it.
It makes a difference. You know, when you have inflation the way it is, there's certain things that you may decide, okay, you know, this is going, I mean, some of the grocery.
An accessory pack with small rodent cooking extension.
Is unbelievable how much some of this stuff's going up. So you see some things maybe go up, maybe you make a different choice, but you know, you really don't have a choice about whether you go to work or not. I mean, you got to go. So you have a lot of people that are racking up big tolls, and those bills are going to be cut in half. That's going to save commuters hundreds of dollars, but some it'll save thousands of dollars, because some of them are paying $300-400 a month in tolls for doing around and doing their job. So we're happy to be able to do that. And again, we wouldn't have been able to do that if we didn't have really strong fiscal reserves, very good economies continued to outperform the nation. We're going to do more.
Let's see. California gas stove ban. Yeah, California, here we go. Los Angeles Times, TLS, Los Angeles Times. California moves to ban natural gas furnaces and heaters by 2030. Oh, I guess it's not stoves, but it's natural gas. They're banning natural gas appliances. California is committing to a plan that will make it the first U.S. state to phase out gas-fueled furnaces and water heaters in homes. These people are psychos. How do I judge you? Well, no man is good. You obviously are not perfect as you are not the Lord, but I believe you obviously are a passionate man with the right intentions. I will say we do have political views, but it is impossible to say who has the right opinion, but you as a man seem honest. Oh, well, thank you, Longetti. And I agree. I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner. I've sinned a lot. I'm trying not to sin because I love the Lord, but I still fall short, as we all do. But I'm trying.
Tax relief in the upcoming legislative session. I've mentioned some of this stuff in the fall about how we're going to make basically raising kids tax-free, no tax on diapers, wipes, children's clothes, strollers.
No tax on diapers. Oh, I love it when the governor talks about diapers.
Cribs, none of that stuff.
Oh, by the way, Random Gaming. Did I already say hi, Random Gaming? I think I did earlier.
Going to be too late for me and my wife and our kids. They're getting 5, 4.
Thank you, Dusk.
4 and 2 now, but for younger families, be able to do it, it's going to be really, really important. Because again, those are things you just have to buy. You got to buy the diapers. You got to buy these things. So that's going to save families a lot of money. We may even say no tax on gas stoves coming up this year. We'll do that. That's fine with me. I want you to be able to have a choice.
Boom, baby. Boom. LM Drone Bot. You think I have good taste in PC games? Which ones in particular are you thinking?
And so we were in a situation where these reforms were great. They were important. We were really leading the way. The legislature decided at the time to make them in place for, I think, about 2 years. And so they're due to expire on July 1st of 2023. Now, at the time, if you would have told me, hey, they're expiring, that may be a problem, I'd have said, well, 2 years from now, no one's going to want to be doing, really? I mean, we should be fine. But I think what we're seeing is...
Okay, nice, Drone Bot. Yeah, EU4 and Counter-Strike, 2 of the best games ever.
Some of these people just won't quit. They've imposed mask mandates on school children in some of these enclaves throughout the United States. You still have universities that are forcing these
Moonshine Operator, what's up?
Students to get these booster shots, even though there have been studies showing they're at more risk from negative effects of the shot.
Yo, Plastic Gangsta's in the house. What's up, Plastic Gangsta? Good to see you, man. Been a while. How you doing? How do you heat hot water as a rule, then? Is electric your main source of heating and hot water? Here in the UK, it is effectively only gas. It's pretty much only gas here, too, Plastic Gangsta, at least where I'm at. I've never seen a gas or a water heater that's not natural gas. Some remote areas have other mediums, but a quick search shows 91% of UK homes heat water by gas. Exactly, Plastic Gangsta. I'm assuming in the US it's 90% plus too. Every hot water heater I've ever heard of is gas. Although I didn't make it to many, I always enjoyed your Tuesday Bible studies. I'm going to start those again. They're Wednesday nights, actually. I usually do Bible studies on Wednesday nights. I'm gonna start those again, Fatormophitis. It's been a while since I've done one, but I am still doing them. It's just been a while. A girl in kindergarten in Ohio died suddenly today. Sad. That's what I thought. So how the hell is California gonna get rid of hot water? Dude, here's the thing, Plastic Gangsta. I always remind people, okay? I always remind people of this. The Democrats, they don't want you to have an electric water heater, okay? They don't want to ban gas-powered water heaters so that you can then have a electric water heater. They don't want you to have hot water. They think of humans as a blight on the earth. They think of humans as a bad thing. They think of humans as wasteful. They don't want you to have an electric hot water heater. They don't want you to have a hot water heater at all. If they actually did want some of this stuff, then they would be pushing to build new power plants. They're not. In fact, they're trying to shut down power plants. Democrats are shutting down power plants at the same time as mandating everything go to electric. I'm not a genius, but this doesn't seem smart. Tweet. Oh, let me catch up on chat here. For me, I'm not an American, so we already have different political views, but personally, I think it would be super scary in a leftist world and a right-wing world. I have no stance when I watch politics. I'm just people who are desperate for some moral of power. I don't know what you mean by the moral of power. Right, Fatormophitis. Bible studies always on Wednesday night, Fatormophitis. Bible studies are always on Wednesdays. By the way, Bill Dritt. What's up, Bill? They're a bunch of liberal morons. Yep. Liberal moron is kind of redundant, isn't it? Nuclear power is the best. I agree, Random Gaming. Fully, I'm a big supporter of nuke power. Man, I will walk before I drive an electric time bomb of a car. I'll stick to my old 97 Ford F-150. Dude, moonshine operator. I think, okay, I think in the future, old school vehicles and appliances are going to become super, super important because now I think on every new car, they have like a kill switch on it, right? To where they can shut your vehicle off and shut your vehicle down. And then all of the new house appliances are all smart appliances where they can, they're basically like little monitoring devices. Like there's an Alexa built into your washing machine, and there's a dishwasher, there's an Alexa built into your fridge. So like I think as we go forward, more and more people are going to want like F-150s from the 90s, and we're going to want appliances from the 90s and stuff like that to try to stay away, because all of this new stuff that's being made is all being made pursuant to, you know, stuff that the World Economic Forum is putting in place and stuff the Democrats are mandating. Would you rather have an appliance in a vehicle that's got all the newfangled tech that Democrats have mandated, or would you rather have something a little bit older that doesn't have all of this newfangled tech?
Than they are from COVID itself at that age. And so this is just nuts that we're still doing this. And so we believe that there's no turning back from our direction. We need to continue to lead, and we need to lead with this. We need to lead with this by making all of these protections permanent in Florida statute, which we are going to do in the upcoming legislative session. And we've got to do even more. So part of what we did, we had a lot of people that were going to lose their job I guess it was almost a year and a half ago now, the fall of 2021, when we called the special session. So we're able to say you can't fire people based on this personal decision. But what we also recognized is there's still companies that may not want to hire someone based on this, and that's totally wrong. So not only do we make it permanent, but we're going to say that this has nothing to do with your employment status. They can't discriminate against you for hiring or firing when it comes to private employment or government employment. And so that's really important. That's an expansion, really, of what we've done to make sure it's right. We also believe that being able to live your life, being able to breathe the fresh air is something that should basically be a civil right. You should not have to have any of these mask requirements imposed on you. Yes, Florida will not do it, of course, from the state, and we never did a mask mandate from the state. Some of the local governments did it. We came in and kneecapped them, but you still have...
Kneecapped them.
But you still have some private, like some of these hospitals, it's like, a patient, like in California, the women are giving birth, they make them wear a cloth mask during child. It's ridiculous. And so we are going to have in this package of protections an ability to live your life without wearing a mask, regardless of...
Yo, Purdy 555, welcome, Purdy. Welcome from Finland.
Where you go. And I think that that's something that's very, very important.
Man, Ron DeSantis is absolutely the man. Jean-Pierre says Biden econ plan working, but Americans poorer now than when Biden took office.
Again, his economic plan for the American people is indeed working.
Really? Biden's economic plan is working? Is that why we're all struggling to get by? Nobody can afford anything? We're all going into credit card debt just to survive? Breaking. At press briefing, Karine Jean-Pierre announces Kamala Harris is now the president.
This Sunday, the president will speak about the fight to secure women's fundamental right to reproductive health care in the face of these attacks. She will talk about what's at stake for millions of women across the country, and most importantly, the need for Congress to codify the protections of Roe into law.
Of Roe into law. Row your boat. Karine Jean-Pierre won't say if Biden should have called possession of classified docs irresponsible.
I want to reference an interview that President Biden did in mid-September with 60 Minutes. And in that interview, he chided former President Trump for having in his possession classified documents. He called it irresponsible. First of all, do you think it was proper for President Biden to comment on an ongoing DOJ investigation?
So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to keep it really short today, as it relates to this particular issue, as it relates to an ongoing legal matter. I'm going to refer you to Department of Justice with that specific, as it relates to anything that you want to ask of us about this legal matter. I would refer you to the White House Counsel office. I'm going to leave it there. Not going to go into further.
I'm simply asking you to comment.
So in other words, Biden is not coming truthful with the American people. Biden is refusing to communicate with the American people about his illegal activities. Dude, this has got to be so corrupt. Now, we don't know for sure that these documents were part of Biden's international corruption and bribery scandals, but you have to, there's a really reasonable basis to think that. Jim Barr, what's up, Jim Barr? Keep it short because it's a failing topic. What is? Also, Pisco isn't a real lawyer. I'm sorry he's lying. He was on Destiny stream today and he's just so dumb. Oh, he is. He is, Bleezers. He really is. I'd be curious to see that. I tried to find it. Destiny must not have posted it. Was he actually? Oh, he's live right now.
The reason I asked that question was because
Oh, could I find it maybe?
Switched or figured out or
that whole
of this.
I don't think.
Dude, how the hell does Destiny stream for this long? 10 hours. He's been streaming for 10 hours and he's still going.
This can't be good for journalists.
Eat a little bit or
This guy of your identity doesn't mean people have
very open person.
I think, and there could be, and there's just you're sitting. Actually, that was really the ideas.
The takeaway from that. How does that? What rule are we violating? Do we take orders from Max now also?
That's words. Like,
what game is he playing? Is this Factorio?
darker hair.
Fit for saying
Okay, then playing with the sports team that I would, but
kind of trying to make like
Republicans would
Where's the peace go?
try, but they would be less.
like
Just
that,
as
but
okay, sure. And then,
what's going
as semi-fascist, even though that's exactly not some of these fringe movements.
Based on public reporting, we know more facts that there's probably more documents than Trump-related stuff. That there's.
Oh, is that him? Is that him right there? Oh gosh. Okay.
His documents is a great example of this in a different context. What Biden did, like there's evidence that, of maybe not criminal misconduct, but that there was a law broken by the fact that he had classified documents in unsecure locations instead of, surrendering them to the National Archives. But the right is blowing this wildly out of proportion, suggesting there's a false equivalence between Biden and Trump. And very often, like even Pisco, we were having a conversation a couple of days ago before Destiny had to go. Even Destiny was calling Pisco out for rhetorically playing into the false equivalence, even though Pisco recognizes the distinction there. Like, you can say, hey, Joe Biden, you shouldn't have had classified documents in your garage near your Corvette. But also, Donald Trump is objectively worse in every single possible fucking way, and anyone who says otherwise is a piece of shit and a liar. You need to include that last part. You can spin it and phrase it however you want, but to just say, hey, Joe Biden.
Yeah, the right is blowing it out of proportion when they don't even know what those documents are. We've got reporting that it has to do with Ukraine. Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were involved with official corruption in Ukraine. And then we know that Joe Biden covered it up. When they found out about this on November 2nd, they covered it up. They've covered it up, and we know that Joe Biden is interfering in the investigation. Joe Biden is blackballing the special counsel investigating Joe Biden. This reeks of horrible, way worse than Trump. Trump says the documents he had weren't even classified. He thought they were his documents. Trump said, these are my documents. They're not classified, or I declassified them. Joe Biden has basically admitted that, yeah, I had declassified documents. And I don't know, guys. I had them in 3 different locations. I don't know how they got there. Sorry. Like, this, obviously we don't know everything there is to know because we don't know what those documents were. But based on what we do know, this is a major problem. And even honest Democrats are admitting this.
Biden, you shouldn't have had documents near your Corvette, period. You are playing into a false equivalence, in my opinion. So,
and so it's not a false equivalence. Biden's is worse.
I'm saying I agree with you. Like, we should,
or it is a false equivalence, but Biden's is worse, not Trump's.
Shouldn't go down the road of false equivalency. But it's like when you talk about policing our own, you have pushback from that. Look at this space. Anytime someone tries to say, hey, maybe we need to fucking chill on this type of rhetoric. Maybe we need to be more accurate. Maybe we need to, be more open to discussion with certain types of people. It gets shouted down as civility politics, or look at what happens to Stephen all the time. He offers any kind of rational injection into a conversation, and that doesn't completely toe the line of the narrative that people want, and he's labeled the complete opposite.
Wait a minute, hang on. Like, and you cut out on me. You were very muffled there. Get Steven's PJs out of your mouth.
Jesus Christ.
Why?
Oh
so
my God.
No, I'm with you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. So what I'm saying is that. Oh, sorry. Train left the station.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to fuck you up, buddy.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. When it comes to like policing our own, we don't get to do that. Look what happens with Steven. Every time he pushes back with something that I think that people in this group would probably hear it and be like, oh yeah, I'm not going to assume you're a bigot and I'm going to engage with it, even if I disagree with it. Yeah. Or you might agree with it. In the broader leftist space, left-wing space, those ideas are shouted down. It's very often you'll find a conservative that you can talk to, that you can engage with and disagree with. And they're not going to pigeonhole you into,
Okay, so now this guy's basically admitting, yeah, the left is a bunch of closed-minded, bigoted, hateful people, and the right is actually the open-minded people. Yeah, that's actually right.
Some space. I used to be conservative. I remember this. Like, you can have some disagreements with conservatives, and they're not going to have the visceral
I'm sorry. If you're a conservative, if you're a leftist now and you became a leftist, I really don't think you were ever a conservative. You might have thought you were a conservative at one point, but I don't think you ever were an actual conservative. Actual conservatives don't become leftists, because if you're an actual conservative, then that means you understand at a deep level human nature and human spirituality and things like that, to where you can't become a leftist. Now, lots of people think they're conservatives, but they never really were. They never really understood it. They never really got it. It never really clicked for them. That's probably what happened to this guy, whoever this is.
Negative reaction where they label you the opposite just because you disagreed.
Well,
so it gets very hard to police our own in that regard.
Do you think that just out of curiosity, and I'm not saying that you're suggesting this, but just to clarify, you don't think that's what's going on right now in this conversation, right? That we're actually having.
Oh, no, exactly.
Okay, just making sure.
We're having the type of conversation that the left should be able to have when engaging with conservatives. And I don't think we need to cede ground. I don't think we need to say, I think the Pisco example was a great one. Like the conversation that him.
A horrible example. What are you talking about?
Hold on, Pisco. Because I disagree with you vehemently, like for even making the tweet.
All right.
But actually, it's a good example.
For even making the tweet, you disagree
yes,
with me.
Yeah, because Pisco agrees with
the
Trump supporter. Pisco, how long have you been Republican?
Are you shitting me? Do you know how much shit I've gotten
hold the memes.
for being a Dem shill?
Hold the memes.
Yeah,
Pisco
I'm sorry.
tweeting,
No, I'm fucking with you. I'm sorry.
Pisco tweeting that tweet is a great example of shit the left does. Just by engaging in that way. I'm sorry. It's a great example of what the right does. And by engaging that way, there's no reason to say that. Because at the end of the day, the proper narrative is, hey, something went wrong, it's being handled, and Biden's completely doing it a different way.
You're out of your mind. You're absolutely out of your mind. You need to combat the cope that was going on by so many left-wing tweeters on the space that were...
I can't deal with that. Oh my gosh. I could not watch that for any length of time. Complete clowns. I don't know. I just find that, like, I can't listen to leftists like that, because I don't feel that they have anything of value to provide. Like, I never learn anything. If you guys are watching some leftist Twitch streamer, like, are you ever really going to learn anything? No. But we learn stuff all the time on this channel, and I don't find them all that interesting either, because they're all so shallow. It's very, very shallow ideology. It's very just sort of emotional knee-jerk reactions to things. Extremely shallow, not learning anything, not open-minded, all just based on fake news. They all believe stuff that didn't happen. They believe in fake news. Like, I don't know. Like, I just can't really watch that kind of content. Lecture will be no better than me, but I believe a crime was committed by Trump, because legally all presidential documents have to be surrendered to the archive. As I understand it, they're not classified. You can retain copies, but all original documents have to be logged into the archive. I mean, honestly, to me, like, I don't really, and I gotten kind of, a lot of people on the right were disappointed in me when I said that, but I think that the federal government over-classifies documents, and so they say everything's classified, and it's like, it's the president. Do we really care if Donald Trump had some documents that he wanted for a memento for his time in the White House? Who cares, dude? Like, okay, maybe it's got somebody's name in it or something. It's a document. Like, maybe it could cause problems if it became public, but it wasn't going to become public. And do we really care if Trump had some classified documents at his house? I mean, I guess it depends what they are. We don't know what they are, though. That's what's also so funny about this, is like everybody's out there making all of this commentary and stuff about these about this stuff, and literally nobody knows what the documents actually are. Nobody knows how they got. Nobody knows anything about either one of these situations. We don't know which documents Trump had. We don't know which documents Biden has. We don't know why they had those documents. Like, wow, CNN Biden did meet with Son's corrupt business partners on multiple occasions as vice president. Whoa, dude.
Despite his denials, a CNN review of the laptop data as well as other public material shows that Joe Biden did interact with some of his son's associates while serving as vice president, though it's unclear exactly what was discussed. One example, the Republican site, Miguel Alemán Magnani, a Mexican businessman and son of the former president who Hunter was trying to woo. In 2014, Alemán Magnani and his dad were photographed at the White House with then Vice President Biden. In a later email, Hunter Biden reminds Alemán Magnani of the favors he's done for him. We have been talking about business deals and partnerships for 7 years. I have brought every single person you have ever asked me to bring to the effing White House and the Vice President's house and the inauguration. Hunter Biden bluntly acknowledged the...
Wait, what? Hold on, what?
Biden reminds Alemán Magnani of the favors he's done for him. We have been talking about business deals and partnerships for 7 years. I have brought every single person you have ever asked me to bring to the effing White House and the Vice President's house and the inauguration. Hunter Biden bluntly